It was important for me to bring my boys here for the Quarry project because it was time for them to experience something harder than I could provide for them.
I didn't ever have a moment where I felt there was a stake in the sand and moving forward. I was a man, you know, I was kind of missing that rite of passage. And so I just made my decision back then that at some point if I had a son, I would make sure I created that moment for him so there's no confusion. I see that confusion in today's world all over the place in manhood. As I was thinking about when to create this, a good friend of mine introduced the Quarry project, and I said, it's done. It's already there, laid out for me. There's a lot of freedom in that, knowing that all the components were there. Just kind of took a lot off my plate, but was able to provide that for my son without question.
When we're in our everyday life, it's hard to break away from the distractions of everything else that's going on. We're kind of bound to our schedules. We're running here and there. We're doing things with multiple kids. Our times become scarce, it seems like. But coming to the Quarry project where we get away, where you're not bound by a cell phone, bound by your calendar, you're bound by the connection with your kid.
You know, we have a lot of distractions in our lives and kind of take away from that father-son relationship. And it was time to get back to that and get really focused before they leave the house and it's too late.
I think that there's a word used in society to describe things that's overused, maybe even with younger generations, and that's epic. But the journey here was epic, unbelievable. I mean, just the views, every view, better than the last. You just don't want it to end. And then you get to Lake Clark, to Port Allsworth, you land on a dirt runway, and the guys are there greeting you. Epic.
I believe Alaska is the perfect place for a rite of passage, for fathers and sons to come together in this beautiful setting that most may not ever see. It's almost as if nature is just holding you here, waiting for you to accept God.
Seeing the boys take control through a variety of activities in one day. They learned to captain boats, shoot guns, and many more. And to see them excel in so many things in one day was incredible.
Getting to come here and do things that I've never done before, and doing them the first time with my son when he does them the first time. He brought up to me today, he said, "Dad, it's cool that you haven't done some of these things too, so we can learn together." And get to do stuff with my son for the first time is huge. It's important.
I think Alaska represents a lot of different things, but you know, they call it the last frontier, right? And so I think the journey for us as fathers with our sons in a lot of ways is a last frontier. And there's a huge void, I believe, between fathers being intentional with their sons and preparing them for their own journey into manhood. That's one of the last frontiers that we have as dads, is to prepare the next generation and to have meaningful generational change.
As fathers, I think that's one of our biggest challenges, is really learning who our son is and coming into this place. What was created here for us this week brought us closer.
They're not trying to say this is the path that's going to be perfect for you. They give you lots of resources that then you can start unpacking when you get back and start saying, okay, this is the ideal one that's going to work for me, or I'm going to grab something from here and something from over here and kind of combine them, because there's no two dads up here that are the same. There's no two dads and their sons that are the same. And so we're all on the path in different places, but we're all heading in the same direction. We want the impact with our sons. We want to be their hero right behind God.
It's okay that you haven't figured it out yet. It's okay that you've probably wasted some opportunities. Don't look in the past. Don't dwell on the past. Bring that to the foot of the cross, and God has forgiven you. But take this now and move forward.
I learned so much that I'm taking home from these other men, and it'll be friendships that last, and it will influence how I go forward as a husband, as a father, not just to Parker, my son, but also to my daughters and how I am with my wife. So it was filling, and I really appreciated it. I knew personally I needed to be here, but after being here, I am convinced that as many dads as possible need to get up here for their boys, their family legacy, truly for the world, because authentic manhood is missing.
Just do it. You're going to come up with 100 excuses of why you shouldn't, but just sign up and do it. It'll be far better than any deal that you closed at business. It'll be far better than any sporting event you went to. It'll be the thing that your son remembers the most. You'll be talking about it for years.
Do it. It's a commitment. It's a commitment of your time. It's a commitment of your resources, but it's been incredible. And just the time that I've had with him, you can't put a price on that.
Let's go. Like it's time. No hesitation. Jump in. This will be well worth the money spent, the time put in, the time away from family. This is one of the most important things that you will do in your entire life.